it is well within the realm of possibility that Flagler County could have a Category 1 hurricane make landfall in or near us.
Flagler County Emergency Management Director Jonathan Lord tells us what we can expect from this storm starting late Wednesday night.
We can expect winds, tides, and waves to be increasing, with tropical storm force gusts occurring overnight primarily along the coastline. Early Thursday morning through Thursday afternoon, maybe even Thursday evening, we expect to see our peak storm surge approach 3 to 5 feet above normal, with waves potentially exceeding 15 feet, and county-wide winds approaching tropical storm force along the coast, and with the real possibility of hurricane force gusts as well.
Evacuation orders are issued for the following areas.
All residents and businesses in Zone A are Barrier Island, from Flagler Beach up to Marineland, as well as mobile homes and RVs countywide, and those living in non-elevated homes in low-lying areas that the residents know are prone to flooding. If you are in one of the areas being evacuated, we urge you to consider staying with friends, family, or in a hotel or motel.
Rimfire Elementary School will serve as an emergency evacuation shelter. Doors will open at 3:30. Flagler School Superintendent Kathy Middlestat.
We will be having an early release on Wednesday. That means that our elementary schools will dismiss at 2 p.m., our high schools at 1 p.m., and our middle schools at noon. We will all be impacted on Thursday, so Flagler Schools is announcing that we will be closed all day on Thursday for district operations.
Additionally, all dune walkovers and beach access points are now closed in Flagler County.
We have a real risk of significant coastal impacts from Nicole, to include dune overtopping as well as breaches.
Coming up at 10 o'clock right here on WNZF, a live update on Tropical Storm Nicole with Flagler County Emergency Management Director Jonathan Lord. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. The face of Flagler County government has changed after Election Day yesterday. Flagler has 4 new elected officials. For Palm Coast City Council member District 4, Kathy Hyder defeated Fernando Melendez with 54% of the vote. The Palm Coast City Council District 2 seat went to Teresa Carly Pontieri, defeating Alan Lowe with 67% of the vote. Pontieri appreciates her supporters.
Well, as I was in the primary, super, super grateful to everybody who came out and voted, but also obviously to my family, my friends, my volunteers, just everybody in the background who encouraged me and pushed me along the way. It was just an awesome effort by everybody. You know, there were so many people who said, hey, I've got you. You're going to be able to do this. Stay strong, keep smiling, keep going. And it just meant the world to me. So I'm just really, really grateful. And I'm ready to get to work. I'm excited for it.
For Board of County Commissioners District 4, it was Leanne Pennington over Jane Gentile-Yude with 73% of the vote. And for the Flagler County School Board District 2 seat, Will Furry defeated Courtney Vandabunty with 58% of the vote. This is Will Furry reacting to his victory.
Well, I'm just truly humbled by the overwhelming response. It is just been an amazing journey of this 8-month job interview. And I promise to pass policy that's going to make Flagler schools the envy of the state, if not the nation.
A big victory for Flagler schools as the referendum to renew the half-cent sales tax won approval with 69% of the vote. Will Furry talks about the importance of the renewal.
It's so important. It does such great things for our schools, and that would have been a big hole to fill. So I'm just grateful to the voters that they value the students of Flagler County and are going to give them that half penny.
Republican Representative Michael Waltz won his second term in Congress, while Republican Representative Paul Renner retains his seat in the Florida House. Renner says he's looking forward to continuing the work.
It's been an honor to serve the people of Flagler County, Volusia, and St. John's, and now a little bit more St. John's and not Volusia, but still have all of Flagler County that I have the honor to represent. And for 2 more years, and looking forward to making it consequential and helping every way I can to make people's lives better that I represent.
Voter turnout in Flagler County was at 61%. With third-grade reading scores dropping further in Flagler County, some are questioning if the drop is tied to more screen time.
Dusty Sims is director of the statewide Bureau School Improvement Program with the Florida Department of Education and says the devices actually encourage reading.
I think back to my days as a child, and when I read, it was when I watched something on TV, I might see some words on the screen there, or I had to go pick up a book, a magazine, or a newspaper to read it. Kids have 24/7 access to devices where they're constantly reading things. Think about the icons that students or children read on their phones and all the things that they immediately know what that symbol represents based on looking at that phone.
University of Florida professor Dr. Holly Lane says that doesn't apply to all age groups.
The kids who are learning the basics are the kids who are least likely to be actually texting friends or reading a website. What they're doing is watching videos on the screen or playing a game on the screen. So for older kids who have already learned the basics, then they actually are engaged in reading. Those kind of things are more likely once kids have already learned how to read.
Lane says younger students should be reading traditional books or have one read to them. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
The SMART program in Flagler County is working to give the incarcerated a second chance.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley is all about law and order and is a believer in second chances. 5 inmates at the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Center have successfully completed the SMART program, which stands for Successful Mental Health and Addiction Recovery Treatment.
We try to give inmates the tools to be successful citizens and not come back to the Green Roof Inn. Since we have implemented SMART, 42 inmates have graduated.
FCSO started SMART earlier this year with a $530,000 3-year grant from the U.S. Department of Justice. FCSO is one of 3 sheriff's offices in the country to receive the funding. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.